Did gamblers get their lingo hijacked? The earliest reference to hijack that OED lists is from 1923. 1923 lit. Digest 4th of August 51/3 I would have had $50,000, said Jimmy, if I hadn't been hijacked. But the etymology is listed as unknown. Interestingly, I found several newspaper references to a poker game robbery in 1920 that seemed to antedate the OED quote, although they all used a hyphen. The Democrat American, January 9, 1920, free, paywall. Looking further, I found a 1916 newspaper reference to hijacks, also referring to a poker game. Muskogee County Democrat, Muskogee, Oklahoma, November 30, 1916, thu, paywall. Given that these references are poker related, my immediate hunch was that the term may have originated as a gambling term. This doesn't seem far-fetched to me. Winning a poker hand with a high card jack would be a figurative robbery of sorts in some poker variants. Etymon offers an alternative explanation. American English, perhaps from highway plus jacker one who holds up, agent noun from jack, v. This explanation makes sense but appears to me to be a little bit misleading. It makes it sound as though jacker meant someone who holds people up, i.e. robs them, but it actually seems to refer to jack as in to hoist something up on a jack. Having researched this into the two separate directions, I thought it was time to post a question. Is there any corroborating or invalidating evidence to the theory that hijack could have started as a gambling term? Is there evidence beyond speculation that it derives from hoisting a stolen good up with a jack?
Green's Dictionary of Slang has, according to Cohen, Studies in Slang II, 1989, based on hijack, zinc ore, a term used circa 1899 in the mines of Webb City, Missouri, then the world's greatest lead/zinc mine. This zinc ore was more valuable than the basic lead among which it was found, and miners would steal it to further enrich themselves. The term was virtually, say, standard English, by 1900, as are the later meanings referring to the holding up of vehicles, including aircraft, and the killing or ransoming of their occupants. However, none of the citations actually given in Doe's antedate 1923, or suggest a gambling connection, so it looks as if your references are completely new material. There's a snippet view of Gerald Cohen's article here.
There is support for the etymon line reference to a highwayman. A story entitled The Leather Ear appeared in the Saline County Journal of March 3, 1881. It is set on a coach and the protagonist talks of a Dick Turpin 16-string sack sword. Well, I should have protected you, you know, had me dared any of his hijacks in here. As for me, I would defy any robber to find my money. Reinforcing the relationship of hijack to larceny is the following from a new congressman in the Evening Critic, February 7, 1883. I am elected to the next Congress from Baltimore, whispered the colonel confidentially, and you bet I will make it lively for Sam Randall and them hijack robbers. The first thing I do is to tell Sam Randall to come to hell right off and have him arrested. Further evidence that the term is related to highway robbery is this exposition from another man killed in oilfield town, the Daily Ardmorita, December 5, 1916. For the benefit of those who may not know what the term hijack means, let it be explained out: if a person possesses a certain article that a certain other party desires to possess, and the latter does not care to go through the formality of offering current coin of the realm for the same, he simply takes a big gun in hand, lays in wait along the side of the road or enters the place of business of the one whom he has evil designs upon, and at the point of his artillery takes what he sees in sight and gets away with it. George Jean Nathan and H. L. Mencken's American Mercury was, in a way, a precursor to the Stack Exchange English Language and Usage. The Mercury would publish language questions from readers and solicit answers from fellow readers. In the June 1926 issue, pages 241-2, 1H. K. Croasman of DuQuoin, Illinois offered the following regarding the origins of hijack. The first time I heard the word hijacker was from the lips of an Oklahoman. The word being new to me, I asked him its meaning, and he told me that it meant the same as a footpad or road agent. He explained its derivation as coming from the command customary in holdups, hold up your hands. This was gradually corrupted to stick 'em up high, Jack, or more simply, up high, Jack, Jack being the common generic name for any male person of unknown or uncertain identity. Thus, the Oklahoman explained, both the words stick up and hijack originate from the same command. To hijack is a verb, now apparently used exclusively in reference to road robbery of illicit liquor. but the word itself is older than national prohibition. And, finally, the change from high to high is simply a corruption typical of a tendency in America.
Research via newspapers.com, paywall, suggests that the earliest uses of the term are to describe alleged intimidation by the IWW, Wobblies, circa 1915-18, and of the pre-prohibition robbery of legitimate liquor trucks by gangsters. The use by hobos does not appear to be recorded in the press and may be specific to N. Anderson Hobo, 1923. Unfortunately, neither group of examples helps with the possible etymology. For my own work, I have removed the supposed link to lead mining.
I wonder whether hijack was used originally when the thief steals from someone who is breaking the law and thus presumably cannot complain. During Prohibition, I understand that one gang would steal liquor in transit which belonged to another gang. Such would be the case when both gambling and selling liquor are illegal. Now it seems to be limited to vehicle theft when the vehicles are being driven.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.